Iron Maiden's new tour, another loss in the metal family, and Judas Priest have prepared something special. Hold on, yeah! Metal is life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. Yet another metal loss. More sad news came from the stalwarts of melodic death metal, the legendary At the Gates. Frontman and co-founder of the band Tomas Lindberg has passed away on Tuesday, September 16th, 1 month before his just 53rd birthday. In the middle of August, Lindberg revealed that since December 2023, he was fighting with a rare form of throat and palate cancer. He underwent the major surgery and radiotherapy, but in the beginning of 2025, the remnants of the cancer were found. And so Lindberg had to undergo the chemotherapy as well. Yet despite all the efforts from the doctors and Lindberg himself, he sadly lost this battle. But the craziest thing here is that just a day before his surgery, Tomas Lindberg actually recorded the vocals for the upcoming At the Gates record. Those vocals were recorded before all other parts, specifically to make sure that the new At the Gates album will see the light of day, which of course will make it possibly one of the most important releases in melodic death metal ever. Formed in 1990, At the Gates were one of the creators of the Gothenburg sound, later known as melodic death metal, and their 1995 album Slaughter of the Soul is one of the most important releases for the melodic death metal and for extreme metal overall. So yes, this is sadly yet another very hard hit for the entire metal community, whether you were an At the Gates fan or not. And sadly, not the first one this year. So on behalf of all the metal pilgrims from all over the world, we just want to wish our condolences to the Tomas Lindberg family. And of course are now eagerly anticipating the most bittersweet, but possibly one of the most important releases in the At the Gates discography. And here guys, despite the whole fact that the entourage in this video is slightly different from our regular ones, as I'm traveling once again, but nevertheless I still have to point out that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to this channel. So if you're not one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching here, I would really, and I mean really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. Ozzy Osbourne coming home. The long-awaited BBC special on Ozzy Osbourne's final years finally has a release date. The one-hour film titled Ozzy Osbourne Coming Home will air on October 2nd on BBC One and iPlayer. And just a reminder, it was originally supposed to air on August 18th, but just a couple of hours before the release date, it was just pulled out of the schedule without any explanations, and later on we found out that this was of course done out of respect for the Osbournes' family wishes, who were simply not ready to show that documentary to people at that point.
Why was that so easy?
I had a lot of practice.
Filmed over 3 years, the documentary captures Ozzy and Sharon's dream of moving back to the United Kingdom, his battle to get fit enough to perform one last time, and the family's struggle with his decline in health. With intimate appearances by Sharon, Jack, and Kelly, it actually promises love, humor, and tears, and is supposed to show a rather vulnerable side of the Osbourne family. Just as Kelly said herself, it turned out that Iron Man wasn't really made of iron.
Must belong up there, you know.
And here's the thing, I totally understand that the documentary was most likely pulled from the schedule for the first time because the Osbourne family wanted to tweak some things and portray these last years of Ozzy's life in a slightly different light from whatever it was in the original one. But at the same time, I actually think that they do have a right for that, as once again, they lost their beloved family member. And I don't know about you, but I actually see nothing bad in it. And I am excited to see this film very soon. And here as always, just want to thank all my patrons and all the YouTube channel members. Guys, thanks to you, I'm actually able to produce videos for this channel. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart to everyone who supports me on Patreon or YouTube, or everyone who purchases metal Pilgrim merch.
If my life's coming to an end, I really can't complain. I had a great life.
The Candlemass reunion. Swedish Lords of Doom, Candlemass, joined forces with nobody else but their cult ex-frontman Messiah Marcolin for the very first time in nearly 20 years to perform at Wolfheart Festival in Athens, Greece on Saturday, September 13th. As Candlemass bassist and mastermind Leif Adling explained, this was one of the happenings to celebrate 40 years of Candlemass alongside a special EP Black Star and special merch released earlier this year and a future documentary that apparently is being filmed right now. And during the show in Athens itself, Candlemass with Messiah performed a set of 11 songs full of the band's classic doom metal anthems from the first 3 albums, including the cult hit Solitude, which of course closed the set. By the way, interestingly enough, they also performed the song Black Dwarf from their 2005 Candlemass album, the last one they recorded with Messiah on vocals. And just a year and a half after the release of Candlemass, Messiah left the band once again, for the 3rd time, and actually had absolutely nothing to do with them up until last Saturday, when the band has finally given the fans what they've been asking for quite a long time. Yet, at the same time, if you hope that this is the beginning of something absolutely new, well, most likely it is not. As Adling was very specific that this is just a one-off show, specifically to celebrate the Candlemass's 40th anniversary. The 40th anniversary of one of the greatest and one of the most influential doom metal bands on the planet. Judas Priest are back.
Oh, Lord, yeah!
The legendary Judas Priest are back on the road with the no less legendary Alice Cooper for their massive co-headline run through North America. Now, this leg of the tour is the continuation of their Shield of Pain tour, and just as most fans anticipated, and just as I said on this channel several times before it, this time around, because this is a co-headline run, they had to abridge their setlist slightly, removing one song from Painkiller, that one being One Shot at Glory, which of course is pretty understandable given the fact that this is actually one of the rare Painkiller songs, in addition to the title track of course, that they did perform on their previous recent tours. At the same time, they got rid of one song from their latest studio output, Invincible Shield, that one being The Serpent and the Kin, which is most likely done because it is a very demanding track, and if you absolutely have to get rid of one song from the setlist, well, you might as well give Rob a little time to breathe during that insane run. But the biggest surprise on the setlist is that although we still do have the deep cuts, including Solar Angels in it, at the same time on this run, Judas Priest do not play Electric Eye, with which they of course opened their encore on this run, and on many tours before that, which I don't know about you, but at least to me was actually a pretty big surprise. But nevertheless, Priest is back, and it actually looks like after taking this little break, the boys actually sound even tighter than they did in the beginning of 2025, which by itself is already a miracle, and they simply sound mind-blowing, and especially for the band at the 56th year of their existence. And Rob Halford, who since the end of the previous run has turned 74, in all seriousness, at least to me, actually sounds better today than he did in the past several decades. And of course, alongside the return on stage, of which, by the way, we will talk in our next Defenders of the Faith series episode, because there is actually a very important issue that I simply have to address regarding this tour, but this is actually a topic for an absolutely different video. But nevertheless, we finally can talk about something which I've been hinting on for several weeks now. The joint Judas Priest and Black Sabbath song with the vocals from both Rob Halford and Ozzy Osbourne will see the light of day very, very soon. And the only thing that stops the band from releasing it right now is a mere thing that they are simply finalizing the cover artwork for this EP. And given the fact that I officially cannot tell you what I personally think about this new version of Warpix, I am simply not going to say anything about it in this video. And now the time has come for your favorite part of the video, so let's take a look at 5 latest metal releases from this week, which although did not get their own segments in this video, are still definitely worthy of your attention. British Gothic metal pioneers Paradise Lost released their 17th full studio album Ascension Vienna Clear Blast. And since it's their first album of fully new material since Obsidian, which was released all the way back in 2020, this release actually marks the longest gap in their discography. And of course, this album is the last to feature drummer Guido Montanari, who departed the band in May of 2025. And by the way, a couple of weeks ago, I did release a rather extensive interview with the band's leader Nick Holmes, talking about Ascension and a lot of other things. So if you still haven't checked it out, definitely do it after watching this Metal Digest.
Although they seem another daydream, but then
Ukrainian psych stoner doom group Stone Jesus drops Sons to Sun out via Season of Mist. This is the first installment in their Sons trilogy, exploring phases of their sound and identity. The album blends sprawling atmospheric leads, heavy groups, and experimental touches, including their first use of blast beats on the track Low. Finnish melodic death black metal outfit Wolfheart returned with Draconian Darkness 2, a 5-track EP released via Reigning Phoenix Music. The EP includes new material plus live, acoustic, and orchestral reinterpretations like a live version of Burning Sky and acoustic rework of The Gale. It serves as a companion piece to last year's Draconian Darkness, keeping the sound fresh and the momentum up. Swiss technical thrash innovators Coroner have released Symmetry, the second single from their upcoming album Dissonance Theory, due October 17, 2025 via Century Media Records. This song comes with a music video directed by Dariusz Shermanovich, showcasing the band's complex riffing and technical precision, reinforcing their return after decades with new material. And yes, I did of course already talk to Tommy about this album, and the interview is already available for all the YouTube channel members and Metal Pilgrim patrons of all tiers. Melodic death metal frontrunners Arch Enemy released the single Break the Spell, a bonus track from the deluxe edition of their 2025 album Blood Dynasty. The deluxe version drops on October 10th and includes Break the Spell, Moths, and previously unreleased track titled Lacrimatory. The band describes the song as an introspective journey through despair and resilience, confronting fear but refusing to surrender. Igorrr continues surprising. Every fan of prog, avant-garde, whatever the flip this is, metal knows that one of the most anticipated releases of this season, and definitely the most anticipated one of this week, is the new studio album by Igorrr titled Amen, on which Gutierrez somehow was once again able to just top himself. So in honor of it, in this week's Metal Chat, welcome nobody else but Gutierrez from Igorrr.
When composing music, I'm just trying to understand this a little bit more, so sorry if I'm diving too deep into this, but when composing music, and when you envision this grand, picture, painting, whatever it is, do you ever stop yourself and say, hey, wait, this is too much, this is going too far, I need to make it a little bit more digestible for people?
Sorry for that, but I'm not doing music for people. I'm doing music for myself, and I'm always how to explain that. I'm always in my personal quest of my own personal perfect music, and Amen is the temporarily perfect music that fits myself perfectly. But at no point in the process of Amen, I asked myself if it was easy to digest or accessible or anything like that. It has been just, no limits. I got an idea that I like, and I reached the end of this idea, whatever time it takes. I started to write this album in 2020, so it has been 5 years of writing, polishing, recording, trying. So no, I mean, that's my passion. That's what makes me happy. So I got no limitation on that, and you can ask my wife that at the morning I was not there because at 3 a.m. I went in the studio. I put the amp right behind me, really loud, distortion pedal, really loud, and trying microphone, trying things like that. At some point for many years, I invested any energy and money I had to reach the thing that's it's supposed to fit my perfection, my ideal in music.
As always, full interview with Igorrr is actually already available via link in the description to this video, so if you are a fan of the band, definitely check it out. And if not, and you still haven't heard any of the songs from this project, well, just drop whatever you plan to do after watching this Metal Digest and start exploring this wonderful world of his metal music. And this new album is actually a really, and I mean really good entry point for everyone to do so. Iron Maiden finally did it! Finally, it is official and we can actually talk about it. Iron Maiden have just confirmed the Spring-Summer 2026 European leg of their Run For Your Lives tour, and it's once again packed with stadiums and massive festivals. So, pretty much exactly what we expect from Maiden. Steve Harris says that the band simply could not resist adding more shows after the first leg drew over 1 million fans. The setlist is perfect for the 50th anniversary. The show is arguably our best ever, and ticket demand was incredible, so we thought we should play some more shows in Europe before heading to the rest of the world. Oh, and yes, of course, this will be just the first part of the second part of the Run For Your Lives tour, right after which Iron Maiden will take it to North and South Americas, and most likely not only, making it a truly world run. Now, alongside the announcement, we also, as always, got a new poster, yet this time around, since Iron Maiden simply does not have to hide anything from their fans anymore, it clearly references the songs which Iron Maiden did perform in 2025 and will most likely play once again next year, including Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Hallowed Be Thy Name, Power Slave, Ace is High, and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Yet at the same time, they did prepare a couple of special surprises as well, including the two very, very special shows. With the first one being that at the Paris La Défense Arena, which, by the way, Iron Maiden performed twice in 2025, and twice they sold out a 75,000 venue. But this time around, they actually returned specifically to film this experience and finally give their fans what they've been begging for several years now: a true live concert. And by the way, to make the image more old school, they will completely forbid the usage of phones at that show, which will be placed in special pouches, which you cannot use until the end of the concert. And here's the thing, although overall I'm usually against such things, but given the fact that they are saying this up front, and given the fact that this is done specifically to record a concert, I actually think that it is simply a great idea.
Yep.
And the second special show will take place on July 11th, and will take place somewhere in the United Kingdom, which I think many Iron Maiden fans kind of know where, most likely, but nevertheless, Iron Maiden promises that it will be a very special concert, and one may only wonder what the flip that means. But if we're being very honest, many of us kind of did anticipate an announcement along these lines, for several weeks now. Yet at the same time, what is very interesting in this announcement is the whole fact that this time around Iron Maiden clearly state that 2026 will be their last touring year until they take a year-long break from live concerts in 2027, and they will return back on the road again in 2028, which I don't know about you, but at least to me seems to be a clear hint that the band might take this time to finally record their follow-up to Senjutsu, which it looks like there's a very high chance that we will actually get to hear in less than 3 years from today. Bruce Dickinson goes all in.
Oh, say, can you see?
Oh, and another news from the almost Iron Maiden camp. This week, Bruce Dickinson gave Pittsburgh football fans something they'll never forget, singing the US national anthem a cappella before the game at a Cruiser Stadium.
All the ramparts we watched.
And here's the thing, it was actually quite interesting to watch a Brit sing in front of Americans a song about Americans kicking the British asses. I mean, I didn't miss anything, right?
Guess what? I got a fever.
But all jokes aside, in my opinion, he simply nailed it, which just once again shows that this guy can do pretty much anything and it will come out simply perfect.
And the
But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to like it, comment under it, spread the word about the channel, and of course, join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, Discord, and pretty much anywhere you can post content these days. Thank you so much, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!